I don't wanna." The youngest of the 3 boys swatted away a few mosquitoes and stared at his older cousin and his cousin's friends back on land. The older boys were the same age, the same height, and inseparable. At a distance, the only way to tell them apart was their hair colour. One had very dark hair, almost black, the other sandy brown. Although high summer was right around the corner, the water was cool. The sun was blazing from a cloudless sky, the birds were singing. The 5-year-old boy's hands picked at the legs of his swimming trunks. He was nervous. The 3 boys had planned the day's adventures together. They'd snacked on Swedish pancakes at the youngest boy's house. They'd slapped down Uno cards and joked. The bigger boys had told the younger ones about a cool game you could only play if you hadn't started school yet. The idea of being able to do something older kids couldn't intrigued the 5-year-old, and the slow summer day suddenly took an exciting turn. The boys had slipped their suntanned feet into trainers, pulled down the ball caps with the visors flipped up at just the right angle, and set off bicycling toward the local beach. At the lake, the game had escalated to the point where pulling out was no longer an option. "Go on, go! The treasure's there at the bottom," the black-haired boy said for the umpteenth time. The bigger boys had been priming the younger one all afternoon with a story about a boat that had gone down in the lake years before. There'd been 3 gold door handles on the old vessel, and they were still there at the bottom of the lake. The legend had riled up all 3 boys. Now the water reached up to the youngest boy's knees. The black-haired boy shot his friend a look. "Come on, help me out." The sandy-haired boy at his side nodded encouragingly and shouted, "It's not much further. Count 10 steps and you'll be really close. I mean hot." The boy in the water lowered his chin to his chest and eyed the boys on shore from under his brows. His tiny upper teeth, or the 2 that still dangled loosely from the gums, gnawed on his lower lip. "Right on, Mikhail. Just keep going." The shout of encouragement from the dark-haired boy prompted the 5-year-old to take a few steps backward in the water. Now it reached up to his scrawny thighs. He was covered in goosebumps. "Am I there yet?" he asked tentatively. It was hard to say whether the shrillness of his voice was caused by fear or the freezing water. The chatter of cheerful voices and the ting of bicycle bells carried from the nearby road. The bicycles didn't turn toward the beach. After they passed, silence fell again. "Why do I have to get it?" the 5-year-old asked, his previous question still unanswered. "Only little kids are allowed to get it. Big kids can't. That's what the legend says," the boy's black-haired cousin said convincingly. His sandy-haired friend continued, "You're really close. In just a sec, you'll be able to dive down and get the first one and show us." Defiance flashed in the younger boy's eyes. "You guys can look at it, but it's mine, since I'm the one getting it. Finders keepers, that's what you guys said." The black-haired boy placed his hands on his hips and said with a 10-year-old's confidence, "We know that. It's yours." The words persuaded his younger cousin to turn back to the lake. Sharp, narrow shoulder blades protruded from the smaller boy's back as he slowly made his way deeper. His steps were short, his body rocked lightly from side to side as he tried to maintain his balance. Inch by inch, the water reached higher. Now it was up to his elbows. The sun shimmered on the lake. Somewhere in the distance, thunder rumbled. The rain clouds and storm front weren't close, but the explosive sound echoed for miles. A couple more steps, and the boy's feet wouldn't be able to reach the bottom. "He doesn't know how to swim yet," the boy with black hair chuckled to his friend. There was a faint plop, as if a pebble had been carefully dropped into the water from just above the surface.